Communication has evolved significantly here at Foxy. This has had impact in multiple different facets, positive and negative.
Welcome back to Foxy TV, episode 167. This episode is about communication between us and our clients and how this has changed over the last 5 years as the business has grown. If you are interested in a short, condensed version of this video outlining the process from the first time a client reaches out right through to install, I'll link that somewhere here on the screen for our YouTube watchers. We are going to cover that process now in more detail and give our reasoning as to how and why it has changed over time, as we believe this will be informative for other business owners out there. And stick around to the end of the episode as we have an install to show you.
We are doing an episode on Foxy TV this week, which really concentrates on the impact that our growth has had on the way that we communicate with our vendors and our clients. Communication has evolved significantly here at Foxy. We now have staff on who are doing most of the communication for me, and I am now in the background. This has had impact in multiple different facets, positive and negative. We're going to talk about the process, the whole process of how we communicate with our clients and how everything looks from the outside looking in, and the expectations that our clients can have. Is it going to be me? Is it going to be somebody else who rocks up? Why it isn't me? And why they might talk to somebody else when they ring my phone. Communication always has been super important to us. It's one of our most emphasised points of our customer service. Coming from medical and accounting financial background, it's something that's always super important. The best way for you to get the best impression from somebody. So communication, super important. At the very, very start, everything was done through me. As a small business, like really small business owner, it was all done through me. So first point of contact, the consults, everything being sent out was all through me. I was on site doing the installation. I knew if the client was happy, I got the direct feedback. I would send them the feedback request. I would then do the pack up myself. I would then contact the agent to say hi, make sure that they knew I did the job. When they called a year later to have a new property started, I would remember them because that's something I would do and I would love it, and I did absolutely everything. As the business has grown, we took the opportunity to realise we did want to grow Foxy into something a lot bigger. Having something a lot bigger means that I can't do everything. I can't answer all the phone calls. I can't send out all the quotes. I can't be on site as well as do all the admin, as well as do the selections, as well as help all my staff. So we had to prioritise what was really important for me. So that's where the communications changed. Basically, it's getting a different team in for each of the touch points for our business. Lots of phone calls were going unanswered. So we've got Elise, who now answers all our phone calls. We've got a consult specialist now, so that's Gabby. We've got an installation team, so they're another touch point for our communication. And then the filler in between is always Elise, so nothing ever goes unanswered. So the first touch point for our business is most likely to be Elise. So everybody will call my phone. We've got one phone number for the business. It'll ring through to me and I can see everybody whose phone call comes through, and if I can't answer it, it goes to Elise. What's the average price? What's your turnaround time? Do I get a say in how the property is going to be styled? How long does the furniture stay out for? Can I go with you guys if I'm engaging a different agent that's recommended a different styling company? Pricing's the number one question that's asked. They're basically what Elise would deal with every day. Right, so Gabby's the one that will pop out to do all of our consults. We have given her the label, the Foxy Consult Stylist. She pops over, and honestly, every consultation is different. Most only take 15 minutes, but that's guided by how many questions a client has to ask. She was at one for an hour this morning. We go through the property from start to end. We take a whole heap of photos. We will take a measurement if anything's like a funny nook size. Gabby will answer any questions that the client might have. She runs through our process in a bit of, I guess, with some vague detail, not too in depth. And then she'll come back and get the quote written. I approve the quote and then it's emailed through to the client. It is complimentary. We went down that path because you don't pay anybody else to come and get your property ready for sale, so why should you pay us? You don't have to be there. I'll answer that one first. So we will do a lot of consultations with just a real estate agent where we go through the property with them. A lot of agents do have their own ideas on how they'd like the property to be presented, so we incorporate those as well. If you haven't engaged an agent and you have a floor plan and you want to get an idea of price and you want to get pricing today, you can forward through your floor plan. We can give you pricing all set on floor plans. We most likely will need to organise a time to pop through later though, just so we can make sure that we know the colours and the finishes, so everything we bring in complements it perfectly. As far as preparation goes, you don't need to do anything. We're not looking at your pieces. If you've got kids at home, middle school holidays, we're not looking at the mess. We're looking past it. We're looking at the bones. We're looking at how it can possibly be complemented and how it will present, what pieces of furniture we need to bring in. If there are any little things that you need to touch up, but we're not looking at your pieces. So don't do any preparation, it's fine. Photos are uploaded. Gabby will come back and do a bit of a chat with me if that's needed at that point. But we basically do up your quote. So that comes through as a PDF document. Again, depends if it's integrated style where you're living and we're using some of your furniture, or if the property is empty. If you're living in it, the quote's sent through more like a checklist for you to be able to work through. You know the pieces we want to store, you know if you need to move anything into a different room, and you know how to have the property absolutely ready for us to come installation day. If the property is empty, it's basically a list, it's a bit of a guideline of what we're going to incorporate that is subject to change. Both are subject to change. Basically, what presents better on the installation day, we will incorporate. We might reject some pieces, we might incorporate a buffet or console table or a different floor lamp. We won't leave unless it's perfect. Most clients will respond via email, and then the response does come from myself. Elise is absolutely awesome and she'll be able to answer questions if you do ring, but she's not a stylist herself, so she would most likely defer those questions to me. That intermediate communication comes from myself. We will do a follow-up basically a week after we send that quote out, just to make sure that you've actually received it. Most clients will get back to us before that point in time. There's a phone call sometimes to nut out some details, installation day, all that sort of thing. But as soon as we have that information, so the installation, photography date, then we make our installation date work with your photography time frame, and then we get in touch with you a little later to organise some timing, and then everything's ready to go. Best way I can put it, you've done all of the work. You've had all the stress, and now you deserve a break. We suggest you head out for brekkie, let the team come in, and that way you're not privy to our organised chaos before the house is perfect. We've got multiple people on site, things going in and out, lots of moving parts, so it is very chaotic. However, it's very organised at the same time. Workplace health and safety, though, while the boys are on site, our clients can't be on site. They're welcome to come back after the boys have left. I think the best way to do it is to come back and see the home ready, just as your buyers will, and that way you will see the impact that styling can have. So we have an installation team. We've got a team of stylists who have all been trained up by myself. They do the work the same way I would, to the same level of quality, and I check on that because they're a representation of our brand, so we need to make sure it's on par with what you're expecting, but also reflective of the level of the brand and the service that your agent also expects from us. So we've got a team of stylists. They are all girls. I do refer to them as the girls. They do come out on site. They'll be the person that you have a lead stylist, one person in charge of the install. They are your touch point for the day. They will let you know how everything's gone. You'll receive an email from them after the installation, the rundown letting you know everything's gone perfect, and a little bit of a sneak peek, photos and everything to let you know that it's all come together nicely. So after the installation, you don't really hear from us too much more. So you hear on the afternoon with that email that we send through to let you know it's all gone perfectly. At that point, we then sort of transition over to your agent to let them do the hard work. The property goes to the market. I do keep an eye on how it's all traveling. I talk to the agents regularly. We do weekly checks on realestate.com. As soon as that property flicks to under offer on realestate.com, I'm in touch with your real estate agent to see how everything's going. I don't want to put that stress on you. I don't want you to have to worry about letting us know. Once it goes unconditional, then we will be back in touch with you to organise a collection date. Not before, because we want that to be in there to make sure that your valuation's done, the building of pests is done, that last little visit before they sign off on everything, and make sure it goes unconditional before we collect it.
I hope you found all of that information helpful, and if you have questions, please leave them in the comments section and we will get back to you. To finish the episode, we are going to an install in Holland Park where Silvana was our lead stylist. All right, Sil, we're at Holland Park. We've just finished. Do you want to give us a bit of a walkthrough?
Yeah, of course. So right through here we've got our 2 double rooms.
Yep.
Make them have a bit of personality. And then that walks right into the living, and we've gone for greens to offset this very beautiful high ceiling white wall setting that we've got going. Then it walks into the master. Yeah. A nice neutral master. And then straight into the kitchen with the combined dining as well. It's really nice.
That is a wrap for episode 167 of Foxy TV. As always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you back here next week.